So we are on this beautiful topic of near-death experience, and I've always been so fascinated with this topic. And Dr. Raymond Moody, I feel he has pioneered the research on this. But if you read his books, he mentions that even like much before him, they were the Greek philosophers who talked about the phenomena of afterlife or of some experiences which could happen there. There are conversations which are described in many of the texts by the ancient Greek philosophers, which talk about what could be happening or the experiences of some of the people who have had a similar experience of maybe surviving death or knowing something about the afterlife. So Dr. Raymond Moody says that it's not he who is the pioneer, and there were others who have done it before. But when he compiled his research into this book called Life After Life, because he was also a student of philosophy and he was also a doctor. So when he approached this topic, he approached it with, um, it's a logical way of approach rather than going into the thinking that it is, yes, definitely there is an afterlife. He didn't make those conclusions. He just shared what he found in the people that he spoke to. So I feel it's very interesting in how how in his learning about his journey and how he was fascinated with this topic and how he came into the research of it. It is a very interesting story which he shares in his autobiographical, one of his autobiographical books. So he says, as a child, the community that he used to live in, one of the neighbors had a dog who was in an accident at one time and he died. So at that time, what they used to do with such dogs who died, animals, they died, and he says sorry for that, but they would take the body and put it in the dumpster. So this neighbor, he took the body to the dumpster and left him there. So Raymond Moody, as a child, he was very fond of this dog and he was missing him, that this dog has died. But what happens the next day? The dog walks back. It was a sensation in the community, as you can imagine. And everybody was talking about it. And what they were saying, it astonished, I think Dr. Raymond Moody was just 4 years old at that time. It really astonished him that they were saying that he was dead and he came back. So that kind of, it did something to his mind because he had experience with death in the sense that his grandparents would take him. If there was a death somewhere in the community, they would take him. So he, as a small child, had experienced that this is a dead person. And to feel now that people are saying that this person, this dog was dead and he has come back. So from there, he had some fascination about this topic. And second thing which happened was that when he was in the college, so there was Dr. Ritchie in his college. This doctor was there who had experienced a near-death experience. So one day when he was in a Dr. Raymond Moody was a student and he was attending a class, his professor shared this. And Dr. Raymond Moody was astonished to learn that. And he sought out this doctor and he went and wanted to speak to him. And Dr. Ritchie was he was very forward and very patient and very kind. And he shared with him that what he had gone through. So this happened when the war was going on, and Dr. Ritchie was in the army camp. So Dr. Raymond Moody learned later that in the same army camp, his dad had also been there. His dad was a doctor too, right? And when he spoke to his dad later, he did certify that yes, it had happened, that Dr. Ritchie had died and he came back. So he spoke to Dr. Ritchie about his experience. He said that he had pneumonia and he had very high fever. He checked his fever at that time and he had 107 degrees of fever. So, but he was very concerned because there was he had to go to give his like register at a medical college. He was going to start the medical college. It was imperative for him to travel and go there. It was the most important thing for him. So he still tried to get up, even though he had such high fever. So when he got up, he just suddenly got up and he said that I'm going and I have to leave. And he just rushed. And he just rushed. He felt that he was moving at a very fast pace. And he has seemed to have reached another city. He saw like a diner, a place, and there was a telephone booth in front of it. He tried to call certain people who were passing by. Which place is this? Because this place didn't look familiar. So they didn't seem to notice him. Then he went to the telephone booth and then he tried to call, but his hand went through the telephone. So then he realized something very strange, that he had left his body behind. So now he was very, it's like he was very mystified, like what to do? How did that happen? Like what do I do without my body now? So he thought that I want to get back to my body. So with this thought, he was back in the hospital. So now what had happened is he didn't know which ward he was in. So he started looking at all the bodies that were there, and what he realized was that they looked very similar, all of them. So there was this particular ring that he was wearing. So he started searching for that ring, and ultimately he found his body. And he was like really worried that how do I get into my body? And he realized that like they had put all like they had declared him dead. There was a dead body there, right? And so, but he had this intention of going back, and he could go back. He started speaking and they noticed that he is alive still. And he still had this later when he was talking to Dr. Raymond Moody, he even showed him the death certificate that had been issued for him. He had been dead for quite some time. So that also triggered Dr. Raymond Moody's interest. But at that point of time, he was thinking that this is the only person who has experienced this. Like it cannot be happening to other people. It maybe happened to the ancient Greeks, and there is a second person who has experienced this, but no, they can't be any other person. So Dr. Raymond Moody, he was going on in his life, and ultimately he too became a teacher, and he was teaching, and he was taking this class on philosophy, in which one of the topics was afterlife also. So he had the students in his class. In his class, there was this one student, Ross. Yeah. So Ross was very interested in the class and he was participating. Yeah. And there seemed to be like something wrong with him, that he looked kind of deformed. Somewhere it seemed like maybe he has gone through something and some injuries and maybe they have not been completely repaired. So he was early very interested in the class, and Dr. Raymond Moody writes that then he seemed to lose interest. So one day when they were finishing up the class, Ross, this guy, stayed back and then he asked Dr. Raymond Moody that I was very interested in the topic of afterlife and you're not even taking it up. And we are just going through just this boring philosophy stuff. And so Dr. Raymond Moody asked him, like, why are you interested in this? So then he began describing that I was in a car accident and I died. And then I came back. Dr. Raymond Moody was again so interested and again so stunned that he had another case, another person was being through this. So then he asked him, please tell me, please share your experience. So he described that it was a car accident that he was in. And after that, he felt that he was watching himself from above. He saw that the medics came. He was in the car. They were trying to extract him from the car. They were checking his pulse. They were asking, is he dead or not? And he says that when I was out, I sensed the presence of beings around me and who I felt were very kind and very loving. Yeah. And then I was back in my body. And that was the time that I again began to feel the pain that my body was feeling because of the accident. Dr. Raymond Moody found after listening to this, he felt that there must be others who have gone through this, and people just don't talk about it. So then he began asking his students and people outside that if you have gone through such an experience, please talk to me. So based on that, he collected a lot of data, and he realized that people usually are afraid of being labeled as mad or paranoid, and maybe that they were just having hallucinations, and so they don't talk about it. So when given the opportunity, they were very eager to talk. And based on what they were saying, so he has drawn out certain points which feature again and again in near death experiences. So it's not that everyone experiences it in the same way. So they're like maybe 13, 14 points. Some people will experience three of them, four of them, five of them, maybe seven of them, maybe two of them. So different people have experienced different things. There are some of the traits, some of the experiences that people have gone through, which are very commonly felt. Like most people would have gone through it. And there are some which only some have experienced. So there's a huge variation in what people experience. So I will just share now that what are those phenomena that people experience. So first is this that this called ineffability, uh, inability to talk about it. So the people say that I don't have the words to express. Sometimes they will say that, oh, I experience the light and the colors. I don't know. I don't have the words to express it. There was this sound, but I don't know how to express it. So first thing is first this is noticed that many people say this. Okay. Second that they feel is that they come to know that they hear about it that they have died. So as a soul, like this guy, like he was witnessing that the medics are trying to resuscitate him, and many of the people they experience that they are watching there as a third person, and they're noticing that the doctors are saying, "Oh, the heartbeat has stopped. Oh, this person has died." So they come to know about their own death, right? The third phenomena that is there is that there is a feeling of peace. So when they are there and when they are watching all of this and they're separated from the body, what people experience is a like many people experience this, and most people I can say experience this. That there is a feeling of peace and calm, and like everything is okay. Right? That's the third which they experience. Fourth is that many people experience that they hear a noise. It could be like a buzzing sound. It could be like a ringing sound. Some people find that pleasant, but some people have also found it annoying. Okay? Then we come to the next group of traits and the phenomena that people experience. So then it is that they experience that they're going through a tunnel. So they feel like they're zooming or they're flying and they're going through this dark tunnel. Many people have experienced going through this tunnel. Right? Next phenomena that they experience is just like Dr. Richie's experience, being out of the body. This is also experienced by many people that they feel that they have become separated from the body. They can see their body. They are viewing from above, or like they're flying and then they come back and then they experience being in the body. So out of body experiences also are very commonly experienced. Then the next phenomena that is experienced is that they meet other beings, meeting other beings. Like this guy in the trash also experienced. So where it's like these beings, they always feel good. Many times they're like angelic beings and who are loving and caring, and it seems that they are there for support. They are absolutely non-judgmental. So, and being around them, it just makes people feel good and safe. So many people describe meeting such beings in these phenomena. In the next phenomena, this is like one of the most impactful phenomena. So this is the meeting a being of light. This is something that people experience, that they feel that they have met God, or they met Jesus, or they have met a religious figure they have met, and it has an enormous impact on them. They feel this unconditional love and this sense of non-judgment coming from their being. Okay? So many times the question that this being will ask will be that, are you ready to die? Right? And it's not in any sinister way. It's just said in a very loving way. Yeah. Or it would be, okay, do you want to look at your life and do you want to see that what you accomplished in your life? And even in this question, there is no judgment. There is just the help and the support that a non-judgmental teacher might have to stir somebody towards the truth. So it is like they feel guided. So then it's mostly this questions are followed by the next phenomena which occurs, which is again a very kind of astounding phenomena. It is called the life review. I feel it's so amazing. It seems to people that their entire life flashes before their eyes. And it seems that it didn't take any time, but they have gone through the events. They can even, it's like some people describe, somebody else, I read one of the accounts, it's like having a TV screen in front of you and you're seeing your life flashing by in 3D. And you can also enter inside, so you get to experience what are the emotions that you experienced or the other experienced at that time. What are the deeds that we did? So the entire life flashes before their eyes to give them insights on what is important. Like, okay, I should have maybe done it this way, or I should have done it this way. Some people might see that and feel some of the things that they could have done different. But there is no judgment. Okay. So the life review is again one phenomena that they come to. Then the next phenomena that we come to is that people seem to sense that there is a boundary. So there is a border or a boundary which they cannot cross. Sometimes they are told by the light beings that, okay, so you cannot go beyond this. You have to go back. Okay. So coming back is the next phenomena. So some of the people don't even want to come back. Like many of the accounts they share about this, that when they have come back, they felt that, oh, we were like so happy there and we didn't want to come back. But some people are given a choice, but some are not. Some are told that you have to go back. For some people, they choose to go back because maybe they have like children there or they have responsibilities there. So they decide to come back. So, coming back after in the coming back phenomena, many people are left with, it's like a lingering feelings that they have from whatever they have experienced. Some people do not like to, most of them do not like to talk about it because they feel that they will be judged. So talking about it is another phenomena that most people, like at least in the states, would kind of hold back, and maybe in our country they would be come forward more with that. In our country, there is more acceptance of paranormal phenomena. Right? Then then there is this phenomena of the effect that this NDE has on their lives. So many people report a transformational impact in the sense that they might become more empathetic, kinder to others. They might become more soft spoken. Like the values might change. What is important might change. Some people might change the job that they have been doing for years because now other things have become important to them and they kind of realize the truth of life. Many people come back with a sense of purpose in life. They kind of realize that, oh, I am here and this is what I am here for. These are the aspects in my self growth that I have to master. And that is why I'm here in this time. And so they come back with a renewed sense of purpose and they begin working on themselves or even of sharing with others. Yeah. So another phenomena is that their view on death might change. So what would happen is that Now they don't have that fear of death, and they understand that death is like just a transition. And when we are here, there is a purpose to life, and there is something that we are doing here. So our values might shift. So I feel that, like going by these phenomena that I spoke about, Dr. Raymond Moody has shared them, we can apply them to our own lives. Like, I don't think that we need a near death experience to take a review of our lives. You know, like we can start reflecting on our lives. I'm sure, like all of you have already been doing it, but it could be that you pick up maybe the last 5 years and just reflect on what were the important moments, what were the learnings. Look at the last 10 years, look at your childhood. So we can take these opportunities now, like life review can be one. It could be about reflecting on that what is the purpose of my life, which is unique to everyone. It cannot be told by another person. It would just be what feels right to us. And many a times, till the time we have reached there, it is just about that we are doing our best. And that best is enough. Many times we just start feeling guilty or nervous or fearful that maybe I'm not doing enough or maybe I should do more. But take heart in that we have infinite time and only our intention is important. And when we have that intention, look at the beings that help people there. Don't you think that those beings are here also now? Do you think that they have abandoned us now? They're right there, right? So, I mean, like that could be the second thing that we can take back from there. And maybe the third would be that what are the positive values or the aspects of our character that we would like to work on. Like for some, it could be becoming more soft spoken, for some, it could be even speaking up more. So it would be like individually, it would vary so much. So we can even take that back with us from this understanding of the NDEs. Yeah. So I will end this talk here, and I'm like open to any questions that you might have.